Box office sales show one fact right now. Audiences love Project Hail Mary. Could it be the best sci-fi movie of the 2020s? Project Hail Mary is the story of Ryland Grace, who's played by Ryan Gosling, a middle school teacher that happens to have a PhD in molecular biology. He's tasked with saving the Earth from a mass extinction event. Billions of single-celled organisms are eating away at the sun and all other stars in the Milky Way galaxy, except for one. Grace is sent on a mission to find out what's different about that star in a desperate attempt to save Earth. At the beginning of the film, Gosling's character, Grace, wakes up from a cryosleep-style coma in the vicinity of the last healthy star in the galaxy. He's startled to see a spaceship, but not one like he's ever seen before. It kind of looks like bronze scaffolding. On board is an alien, whom Grace calls Rocky. You can imagine Rocky looking like a pig-sized boulder, shaped like a crab. He's inquisitive and slightly childish, despite being well over a century old. After learning to communicate across their language boundary, Grace realizes Rocky came to the star for the same reason he did. Rocky's home star is dying too. Working together, Grace and Rocky find a way to save both of their stars. Project Hail Mary comes from directors Phil Lord and Chris Miller, along with a cohort of their frequent collaborators. You know Lord and Miller's work, even if you don't know their names. They're the minds behind Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, the Lego Movie, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, 21 Jump Street, and the Spider-Verse movies. Phil Lord and Chris Miller rehired some of their favorite previous collaborators for Project Hail Mary. Daniel Pemberton, who composed the Spider-Verse movies for Lord and Miller, delivers a competent score in Project Hail Mary, mostly consisting of classical music. The occasional pop song can be heard too, including a well-timed Beatles beat. Joel Negron, who edited 21 Jump Street for Lord and Miller, also edited Project Hail Mary. Negron's edits in this movie are not only seamless, but beautiful. His transitions between flashbacks and the main story are expertly crafted. Lord and Miller also hired some new faces. Grieg Fraser, the cinematographer behind Rogue One and Dune, heads up Project Hail Mary. His greatest achievement in cinematography to date was his pioneering work on The Mandalorian by inventing the LED virtual wall production. In Project Hail Mary, Fraser expertly contrasts rich, vibrant colors with dark shadows to create a unique visual language for the film. Fraser also uses reflections in glass to create terrific, emotional effects. Andy Weir's other book to become a major motion picture, The Martian, was adapted for the screen by Drew Goddard, who returned to work on Project Hail Mary. Just as he wrote The Martian perfectly for Matt Damon, Goddard made certain Project Hail Mary's script played into all of Ryan Gosling's acting strengths. Gosling is known for his quippy sense of humor and semi-awkward on-screen presence. Goddard's script accounts for these quirks and gives Gosling the space to be himself, up to and including rewrites. According to IMDb, Gosling added a scene that wasn't initially in the script. As the story goes, Gosling happened to hear his on-screen counterpart, Sandra Hüller, singing. He liked her voice so much, he asked her to do a karaoke scene in the movie. Hüller agreed, and one of the most iconic scenes in this instantly iconic film was born. Hüller's character, Ava Straught, sings Sign of the Times, a song Hüller apparently chose herself. The song fits perfectly into the story, so much so that it was used heavily in the film's marketing. There's only one issue I had with Project Hail Mary's script, and it's apparently one that comes from the novel. My father read Andy Weir's book earlier this year. He said the movie follows the novel story beats almost verbatim. Unfortunately, that includes Weir's long-winded ending. The climax of the movie comes about 45 minutes before the credits, with a drawn-out post-log flip-flopping on what should conclude this epic tale. On the one hand, I'm happy that the movie stayed so true to the book. On the other, getting through this slogfest of a third act was a little bit painful. The core message of the novel and movie are very positive. It's a story about duty and sacrifice. Grace has a duty to the human race to find a solution before they all die. Rocky has the same duty for his species. It doesn't matter how the pair of them ended up in the middle of nowhere in space, or that they'll probably die before returning home. They have a job to do, and they need to do it well. Through their personal sacrifices, Rocky and Grace model Jesus' words in John 15:13. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Project Hail Mary also includes some intriguing ideas, as any science fiction should. It questions why life is both a creative and destructive force, what it means to make peace with your circumstances, and if God even exists. In one scene, Grace asks Sandra Hüller's character, quote, "You believe in God?" She replies, "It beats the alternative." I also want to give props to costume designers David Crossman and Glenn Dillon. I have a friend who always talks about the clothes movie characters wear. She taught me to look at costumes more closely. Shout out to you, MJ. Project Hail Mary has some of the comfiest outfits I've ever seen on the silver screen. Somebody send this video to Patrick H. Willems because he needs to know the sweater game in Project Hail Mary is unparalleled. My favorite costume in the movie is the astronaut flight suit that Grace wears. It's a mustard yellow corduroy jumpsuit. Someone in the comment section, please tell me where I can buy one of these, preferably for under $100. Purely looking at the numbers, Project Hail Mary is a hit, perhaps the biggest MGM has had since Creed 3 in 2023. To date, it's made $250 million, with weeks more in the box office to rake in more money. Critics are happy too. IMDb rates it 8.5 out of 10, and a 95% is on Rotten Tomatoes right now. While this movie may not be on track to be quite as much of a success as The Martian back in 2015, Project Hail Mary is set to make a comfortable profit for Amazon's embattled film studio. More than anything else, I just want to say I can tell a lot of love went into this movie. It's a damn near perfect sci-fi film. Everyone who worked on it deserves a raise. I can comfortably say, wearing a comfortable sweater inspired by the movie, Project Hail Mary is the best sci-fi movie of the 2020s so far. But hey, that's just my opinion. As always, go support your local movie theater. Watch Project Hail Mary, form your own conclusions, and report back in the comments section with what you thought. I'd love to read what you have to say. Subscribe and like the video if you liked the video. I've been Jacob, your unconventional movie reviewer, and I'll see you again real soon.